Imagine yourself in 6th grade, a fun-loving little kid who can't get enough of running around with your friends. That's me. I'm shouting across the parking lot, "Let's race," to my cousin as we both sprint to the door of Baker Square for lunch with her mom and sisters. However, disaster strikes right before I'm about to win the race. I fall and I have my first grand mal seizure. My name is Sarah Kalis, and I am one of the 3 million diagnosed epileptics in the U.S. For those of you who don't know much about it, epilepsy is a seizure disorder where your brain may function too much or not as much as others, and sometimes when it does function too much or not enough, you have a seizure. For all of my life, seizures have been grand mal, which is where a person will fall to the ground, shake, and foam at the mouth. In my lifetime, I have had 4 of these. However, I have not had one for almost 7 years. Luckily, I have been prescribed a medication in which I take twice daily, and this prevents my brain from going into overdrive, which could lead to a seizure. I say luckily because medication doesn't work for everyone. Once neurologists have you on a medication for a year, they try to slowly take you off of it because some people can be cured from having a dosage inside their body for over a year. However, when my doctor took me off of mine, I had my final seizure. Since I did have a seizure when I was off my medication, the chance of me being able to live without my medication dropped drastically. I personally went from a 75% chance of survival without medication to a 20% chance, and because of that, I am on it for the rest of my life. As I've said before, I am very lucky to have my epilepsy diagnosed and cured with my medication, as the road to getting there was very long. When I first started having seizures in 6th grade, I went to multiple doctors, had multiple tests done weekly. My life became a mess. At first, doctors thought I had a blood sugar issue and they diagnosed me with hypoglycemia, but as the seizures continued, they began to believe it was something else. As days and different tests continued, so does my seizures. I had one at school in 6th grade as I was running up to kick the ball during a game of kickball. I fell face first on the blacktop and had multiple injuries such as a fat lip, a black eye, broken blood vessels all around my face, and multiple teeth were chipped. Coming back to school a week later was one of the best and worst feelings because of the amount of stares I got. Some of my friends made cards and welcomed me back with open arms, but others stared at me and made comments as though I was an alien to them. From that day on, I really experienced bullying and what it was like to be treated differently from the rest of the other students because of something that I really couldn't help. I would talk to my dad about how going to school was harder because everything felt different, but he was always my biggest supporter in everything that I did and with how school was going. My teachers were also extremely amazing in helping me if I was having a bad day. This is one of the many reasons why I wanted to become a special education major, to help others who felt the same way that I felt. As school went on, I would never say academics got harder for me. I just had trouble with other kids at school. 6th grade came to an end and I was diagnosed with epilepsy after more tests were completed, and this is where I finally got my medication. As I said before, I was on it for a year before my doctor tried taking me off, and when I was off, I had my last seizure. From that point on, I have been seizure-free and loving life. To this day, they do not know the cause of my epilepsy since there's no history of seizures in my family, but I do know now that it's made me a stronger person. Going through this had made me realize that I am able to do anything, and I would never let a disability hold me back from reaching my full potential.